It is over. In an attempt to protect Georgia's agriculture from these invasive species, we're talking about yellow-legged hornets. Well, today, Georgia's agriculture commissioner announced a win. 2 hornets' nests have been destroyed along the coast.
Atlanta News First Madeline Montgomery is live at the Department of Agriculture in Atlanta. And Madeline, you actually saw one of these hives firsthand, right?
That is right, and these are a big deal because these hornets go ahead and kill our bees, which play a huge role in the crops in Georgia. And agriculture is the #1 moneymaker in our state, which can be hard to remember, especially when you're standing on the streets in downtown Atlanta. Such a small creature capable of a huge impact.
This is a different type of hornet and can have detrimental impacts on our agricultural industry, which in turn translates into issues that the consumers could see in the marketplace.
The yellow-legged hornet was first spotted in Savannah about a month ago.
I'm really worried about them attacking the bee population. They're also attacking other native pollinators besides bees, which is a huge threat to our agriculture here.
A threat Agriculture Commissioner Tyler Harper and entomologists are not taking lightly.
Without honeybees and pollinators, you can't have watermelons. There are over 100 different crops across the country that require pollination by pollinators. And so this hornet is a predator of those pollinators.
Georgia's Department of Agriculture teamed up with agriculture departments and entomologists from UGA, Clemson, and the University of Florida to find these hornets and eliminate their nests. Sightings by the public help them find and destroy hives near Savannah in White Marsh and on Wilmington Island.
We need them to keep reporting, keep looking, keep trapping, and report that so that we can continue to define where they are.
Now scientists are researching the hives and hornets to make sure they're eradicated and find out where they came from.
The port is in Savannah, and so it's very likely that that's the method of transportation and how they got here. But we have confirmed that they did come from Asia.
Full eradication would mean that no hornets had been seen in 3 years, but the Agriculture Commissioner believes that they have made good headway on getting these hornets out of Georgia. Reporting live in downtown Atlanta, I'm Madeline Montgomery, Atlanta News First.